A 50 from Mark Wallace glued Glamorgan's innings together on the opening day of their LV County Championship match with Hampshire at the Aegeus Bowl, but it's the home side which came out the stronger of the two teams. Put in, Glamorgan lost Jacques Rudolph in the game's second over, Michael Bates clinging on very well behind the stumps to give Kyle Abbott a wicket with just his third ball of the match. All through the innings, in fact, Hampshire were in excellent form behind the stumps. Liam Dawson grabbed the first of 4 catches to remove Gareth Rees in the 5th over. James Tomlinson with a wicket on this occasion, which reduced the visitors to 12 for 2. Glamorgan have made a couple of iffy starts to their innings so far this summer and have drawn 2 home matches thanks to their tail enders. Will Bragg also provided a mammoth knock against Worcestershire earlier in the week, and he now joined forces with the dependable Murray Goodwin to try to see off the new ball, which was offering plenty of assistance on a green pitch in Southampton. These 2 batsmen carried the total to 59 to give the score a little more respectability. Goodwin had made 23 when he was another to be superbly taken behind the stumps, Bates flying to his left to take the leg side catch, which benefited the bowler Matt Coles. And Coles struck again before lunch, Dawson again showing good reflexes to remove Stuart Walters for 10 at 73 for 4. Bragg had survived for 285 deliveries in making a defiant unbeaten 91 in that draw with table toppers Worcestershire last time out. He was still going again after lunch, adding another 99 balls overall without getting out. He'd taken the total to 104 when he lost another partner in the form of Jim Allenby, who was the next to nick off. James Vince with the simplest of catches, which saw Allenby head back on 17. A number of Glamorgan batsmen made a start without going on, amongst them Bragg, who was finally dismissed just 1 short of another 50. Abbott struck for a 3rd time, Bates with a 3rd good catch, this time off the batsman's inside edge. On 117 for 6, Glamorgan now needed another fighting knock from their captain Wallace, a man who has started to find his form after a poor start to the season with the bat. He had a good last game and helped pull his side out of a big hole again here, adding 36 runs with Graham Wagg. Wagg himself has delivered a couple of priceless knocks for his county, but this time he was out for 16. He was the only man in the innings not to edge behind. Sean Irvine didn't require the fielders this time as he flattened Wagg's off stump. Wagg was soon followed back to the pavilion by Rory Smith. His nick was spilled at first slip, but Dawson was calmness personified as he coolly bagged the rebound. 2 balls later and Irvine struck for a 3rd time in quick succession. Dawson at it again to get shot of Dean Koska to leave the Welshman on 159 for 9. Not for the first time this summer, they then showed a lot of character, with Tom Helm helping Wallace put on the best partnership of the innings right at the end. The 2 were together for an hour in which an important 65 runs were added. Wallace was naturally the main scorer, although Helm did face 52 deliveries in playing his part. Wallace showed that it is possible to make a decent contribution with the bat on this pitch, with some cracking shots, especially off Tomlinson. He used his feet well and manoeuvred the ball around. This fine leg glance took into his half-century of just 53 balls, that being his 8th 4. The Glamorgan skipper had been on only 19 when joined by last man Helm. He'd also by now secured his side a batting bonus point. Middlesex loanee Helm had done a fine job then in making 17 when he edged a drive off Coles behind. Wallace was left unbeaten on 67 as his side were all out for 224, with Abbott, Irvine and Coles all taking 3 wickets. So Hampshire had the last session with the bat, and Michael Carberry and Jimmy Adams opened up with a stand of 32, which included this pulled 6 by the former. Adams had made 13 when he edged the most successful bowler in the country in the 2nd division, Wagg. Wallace did the rest as the good work behind the stumps continued. All those edges showed that there was something in the pitch still for the bowlers, and that meant that Carberry and Dawson had to be at the top of their game to the end of the day. Both played extremely well, producing a number of shots of quality as they aimed to ensure that this first day was going to belong to their team. Hampshire have looked in good order so far this summer, and this was a chance for them to send out a message to their opponents. These 2 were making the most of the sun on their backs. It was arguably by now the best conditions to be batting in. Carberry timed the ball extremely well, as this shot, which took him to his 50, will testify. It brought him his 5th 4 to go with his 1 maximum, as his second 50-plus score of the summer was brought up off 86 deliveries. He just keeps reminding the New England Selection Committee of his existence. His other 50 of the summer was turned into a 3-figure score in the win over Gloucestershire in Bristol, and he'll have a chance to repeat that on the second day of this match, as he and Dawson batted through the remainder of the day with very few concerns. With his 4 fine catches, Dawson too had a very good day for his team. He will return to the middle on the second morning on 37, while Carberry will resume his innings on 62. Thus far, they've added 87 runs for the second wicket to take their side on to 119 for 1, and that leaves Hampshire only 105 runs behind, with 9 of their first innings wickets still intact. They are already well placed.